The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
I have a black screen.
Is it fixed now?
Why do the intro, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Huh. Yeah. He's probably going to have to get out and then come back in.
Okay. Cool. Let's do the intro. What's up?
Welcome, everybody. Fighter to Fighter here with Brett Williams. Right now, he's experiencing a little technical difficulties, but he's going to be back on with us here in a minute. Man, it's been a while since I've been on, and I'm so happy. Good God. I'm so happy to be back on, man. It's been a couple months, and I've been dealing with my own mental health and everything, and trying to get myself back right. And it's been pretty difficult, but thank God that being the fucking warrior and the beast that I am, I was able to pull myself back out of that shit. I'm back at it. I'm killing it on the car lot. I'm killing it here. So, there he is. Your mic is a little.
I hear him.
You can hear
You
me?
hear him? Yep. I hear you now.
Okay, cool.
Hey, David, I'm getting kind of a reverb. Or
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of echo on your side, Brett.
yeah, it's on my side. Was fucking me.
Could be. Technical difficulties.
What about now?
Nope. Still an echo. It might be coming on Brett's side.
Yeah.
Brett, do you want to try jumping out and getting back in?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, you've been out for a while, man. You've been out for a hot minute.
Yeah. Man, I went back to a dark place, man, that I should have never let myself get to, but shit happens. We all go through fucking tests and trials, and something that I watched a video from a guy. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. His name's Andy Elliott. He was a car salesman for years. Now he trains car salesmen or whatever. And he said, man, it's all about that test day. You know what I'm saying? Can you handle the test day or can you not? He said, yeah, you're going to fucking struggle through shit, but it's all about how you fucking handle those struggles and come back from them. And, man, that's just, something I've kind of stuck by. I've always been that guy that, I've always bounced back and came back 120% from anything I've ever been through. So,
Speaking of which,
we only grow off of the shit we deal with. You can't grow from nothing. So anyways, Brett, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. The sound quality is great now.
Okay.
But
Cool.
so man, how you been, bro?
I've been better. I've been doing the best probably in like the last like 4 months. I'm doing the best I have been like the last few weeks or so. So
Okay. Well, man, welcome to Fighter to Fighter. I've been wanting to get you on this fucking show for a while now, bro, because man, I look at your posts and I read your posts and I watch your fucking videos and I'm like, man, that is a dude right there who has been through the fucking fire.
mm,
And you know, fire tempers fucking swords. That's how that shit gets strong.
yeah,
And man, I knew I wanted to get you on here because, you know, I think a lot of your struggles and my struggles, they may not be the exact same, but they have aligned some way in the way that mental health and shit works.
mm-hmm.
And having you on here, man, and being able to have this conversation and to be able to get the message out about mental health awareness, especially in men,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to talk about it. And you know, so many guys are fucking pussies and they don't talk about it. I think that the strongest person is the one that can talk about his problems, get them out there, identify what the fucking problem is, and then fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are our own people.
Mm-hmm.
We're the reason for our problems, but we're also the solution for them. You know what I'm saying? I think being held accountable is huge, and talking about it is part of that accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, tell the people a little bit about yourself, man. Where'd you come from? Where'd you grow up at? You know, tell me a little bit about your life. You know, as a young Brett Williams.
I grew up in a town called Chumuckla, Florida, which is in northwest Florida. It's near Pensacola. It's like an hour north. Super rural town. Like the high school in that town had like a graduating class of like 26 people, counting faculty and staff. And I was raised by my grandma when I was real young, and then ended up moving in with my mother to Pensacola, and then ended up moving to Pace, which is a different county, but it's all around. Been all around Pensacola. But I, I've told this story so many times, trying to figure out how the best way to, sum it up. But I didn't want to play sports. I actually despise sports. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to play guitar. Well, I didn't have any support from anyone. My dad was drafted to the MLB, and he got in a car accident, and it essentially ruined that career for him. But my dad was like a top athlete out of this area in football and baseball. And he wanted me to play sports, but I was like, nah, like I'd rather be a goth kid. Well, I think it was 7th grade. I think I like painted my fingernails black or something. And my dad was like, nope, we're not doing this shit. Like, you're playing football. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking play football. I don't want to do that. Well, my dad made me play football. So, and it was like a real revelation in my life at this point. So I started to begin to notice something, that I could do more push-ups than other kids. I could jump higher than other kids. I was faster than other kids. And I was just different. And I didn't really understand. And this is like before we would put on pads and stuff, just doing like the normal spring training or whatever. And I remember it was like the first time we put on pads and we were able to hit it, like doing like a little scrimmage. And I just blew through. I was playing linebacker, and I just blew through the offensive line and just destroyed the running back. And my dad, which we had a weird relationship at the time, my dad was so happy. Like I just remember how happy he was and excited. And like, he's like, that's my son. That's my boy. That's my son. And it clicked in my head. I was like, if this is what I got to do, if I'm good at sports, I can establish this relationship with my father. And then at school, that wow, people are starting to notice me. I'm not just a weird kid. Now people think that I'm cool because I'm a stud. And that changed my life forever. So to sum it up, I've never played guitar still to this day.
Well, you know, I'm going to say this, and I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Man.
Because I feel like I don't care what my son does.
Mm-hmm.
If that little shithead wanted to be a ballerina,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the loudest fucking dad in that crowd,
mm-hmm.
cheering his ass on.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know. You know, maybe some people think different, I guess. But
it's a double-edged thing, because I'm like, look what came out of my life. You know,
yeah.
Maybe if I would have played guitar, maybe life would have been different. I would have played in a band. Maybe would have went to college. Maybe took school more serious. Like, you know, who knows? But the fact that I was good, and I wasn't just good at football. I was good at everything I ever put my hands on. And I didn't apply myself as much as I should have, but I was just so good at everything I did. I'm very fortunate. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like super egotistical, because I'm very grateful for, you know, my genetics. And I just tried all kinds of different sports, and I wrestled. I was involved with wrestling for like 10 years, wrestling and being a coach and just being involved, like doing seminars and stuff. But look where it's gotten me now. You know what I mean? If I would have picked up that guitar, you know, I don't think I'd be on here. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, but maybe, you know, your passion for playing that guitar and wanting to be that rock star, you know, hell, you might be on the cover of fucking Rolling Stone right now.
Yeah, I mean,
but hindsight is 2022 though, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no telling, but I'm digging it. You know, my life is so enveloped in fighting. I've been trying to get a fight for quite a while, but I had like the lowest point in my life here recently. So it was like, I've only been offered one fight since my fight in February. I've only had one offer, and it was a pretty stiff fight, and it was going to be 2 weight classes down. Because I finally got on board with nutrition, like we were talking about before the show.
Right.
But it was a pretty stiff fight, and I was like, my hormones were real messed up, and I was like super, super, like the lowest I've ever been in my head, where I couldn't even tell the difference between like reality and like if I was living in like an astral plane, because I've got some shit going on in my head. But anyway, I had to decline the fight. Like, I knew in my heart that I could beat that guy, but it was in his hometown. It was 8 hours away. It's that Miami BKFC card.
Yeah,
and he's a big time seller. And here I am, when I honestly don't know if I'm going to make it another few days. So I'm in no shape to fight. Now, physically, at the time, I was in the best shape of my life, but mentally I was in the worst. So, you know, I had to decline, you know, talk with people that were around me. And it's like, dude, you can't do that right now, Brett. Like, you're so messed up. Like, that's just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah,
and,
because I mean, if you'd have lost that fight, how far would your head have spun, you know, downward then?
Absolutely, because, you know, I still got so much fight left in me. I still got so much like shit I haven't even shown the world. Only people around here know, you know. But I'm glad I turned it down. But it was probably 3-4 weeks after that I'm like, I'm starting to feel like myself, you know. Things are starting to change in my life, all kinds of different aspects. But I'm like, okay, I'm ready to fight. So now I'm just trying to find a fight.
Yeah. So, like, you know, Blake is one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
You fought him back in February.
Yeah.
And, you know, after that fight, me and him were talking. He said, man, I talked to Brett. He said, man, that dude is so fucking genuine. Like, he's so grounded, and he's one of those people that, like, when you meet him and you talk to him, just you start to look at yourself. And he had nothing but good things to say about you. And
and I love to hear that.
Yeah. So don't ever think that just because you lose a fight that you don't leave an impression somewhere.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, and the thing is with me is I had so much going on, but then again, like everyone does when it comes to it. But I remember afterwards, I wanted to keep fighting. I was ready to. I was, at that point that was a dead end street anyway. I couldn't see it all. My face was. I had a lot of people could see like the visible damage, but I had a cut in my eyeball.
Oh, wow.
Nose, and I was leaking fluid out of that for like 3 weeks. It was like a clear pus fluid that was coming out of my eyeball. And
Holy shit.
Like how much worse the damage could have got, because I couldn't defend the jab. I can't parry it and I can't slip because I can't see anything.
Yeah, and he's got fucking 12-foot arms.
Well, that was, talking about what we were talking about earlier with the diet and shit. Like,
yeah,
I could only get away with putting down big dudes with a 66-inch reach, being 5'9". That train was going to come to a halt. And at the time that I accepted the fight with Blake, I was telling my manager, I was like, I don't give a fuck who it is. Like, if I land this right hand, look at my amateur career. Look at what if I land this right hand, it don't matter who it is. Well, what happened when I didn't? I couldn't reach him, and we didn't have the best game plan, but either way, he was the better fighter. So I wasn't able to land, and look what he did. I didn't have a plan B. And I was like, okay, it's time to take it more serious. You take your training serious, but it's time to quit eating at the buffet. It's time to quit eating crumble cookies all the time and get down to like 155 where I should be. Or 165, because I done put on some weight now, I mean, with everything going on in my life. But 155 is where I need to be.
Yeah. And, I've trained with Blake, and I've been on the end of those jabs, and I know how frustrating it, because I'm more of a pocket fighter. Mm-hmm. Like I'm deadly on the inside, because I will just break your ribs all day. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I get it, man. Like, it starts to break into your head, and you're like, holy fuck, this whole game plan I've had is now out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck do I do? And then you start to wake up. Mm-hmm. I think everybody in life goes through a moment where it's just pure chaos in their head, and they get to a point where they go, fuck, okay, something's got to stop.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that was probably your moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely was. And at the time I was in a relationship, and it was rocky at the beginning, but then it just kind of fell together, and like I was super happy, and like I got into this mode, like I'm going to put everything into my fighting career now. Like I've got this person with me, and we're looking into getting a house, like we're looking into getting married, and like bam, so everything flows together. So me dieting super hard and training all the time was just a perfect scenario. And I lost like 33 pounds. I look like stage ready, you know what I mean? But mainly genetics, but I look like stage ready as a fighter. And, I don't want to be real muscle bound, the type of fighter that I am. And everything was fucking going super awesome. And then like, it just all stopped, it all came to an abrupt stop. And then that's when shit got really bad, because I've had, when I was a kid, I got expelled from school, in elementary school, because, we both live in the Bible Belt. So, things are, sometimes it's like 20 or 30 years behind other places.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'm a progressive guy, but I've got some conservative values. But where I was at was so ruled that like I was just a different kid, and the fact that I was just different, and I was a little shy and awkward. I was a little kid. They like assumed that to be, and I was like into history real big. I mean, to this day, it's still the same thing. But like I was super big into history and like horror movies and stuff. and they automatically thought that like I was going to be a serial killer. So I had to get, yeah, it's crazy. I had to get psych evaluation, and I was put on ADHD medicine of all things, right?
Oh, yeah.
As a little kid, and and I was taking another psych med. Like, I'm a child.
Yeah.
I was taking this medication then, and for a period of my life, from like, because I stopped taking the medication about 7th, 8th grade when I got into sports, up until probably 5 years ago, I stopped all medication. I was just like, you know, just living my life, and I was such a happy fucking dude. I was like the happiest fucking person that I was just a ball of light everywhere I went. You know, I was just, I don't know how to explain it, but I was so happy. And then one day, I've got pictures and shit, like, of when I can tell you the timetable. And like one day I woke up and I'm looking at the mirror and I'm like shaking a little bit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's right before my amateur boxing debut, club boxing debut. And something told me, it was like, Brett, cut off all your hair. And my hair was like down to here. And I loved my long hair. But something in my head was like, Brett, shave your head. And I didn't know why, but it made sense to me at the time. And then I started to realize after that, like, shit at work, because I'm a very docile guy. Hell yeah, dude.
He is fucking attention. He's an attention whore, bro.
Yeah, huge cat guy myself. But I started to notice I'm a super docile guy, like super calm, non-confrontational. That people at work started aggravating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then I started worrying about work shit at home and getting real anxious about shit. And then sometimes I would just like clam up and I would start stuttering and start shaking. And I was having like these panic attacks. I didn't know what it was at the time. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And like, I remember one time I was in Kohl's and I was with this girl. And the lady asked me if I wanted a Kohl's credit card. I didn't know how to say yes or no. I just like, I started stuttering and clammed up and I just started crying. And like, luckily the girl I was with was like, you know, Brett's got some issues going on. And the Kohl's worker is like mortified. And I'm just like freaking out. And at the time I had someone help me get in touch with a therapist and a prescriber. And I started talking and figuring stuff out. And I'm still dealing with like crazy anxiety, like these crazy panic attacks and stuff. And it came
up. This was after the medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is before the medicine.
Okay.
5 years ago.
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago. And I was just so anxious about so much shit. Like, I got to where I couldn't even make decisions anymore. Like, I needed people to help me make decisions. And it was weird because the one time, like, me being such an anxious person and then fighting on top of that, it was real interesting having to navigate that. But I've been dealing with like the severe anxiety with these panic attacks. Then it got to a point where I was talking to a psychiatrist I had at the time. And I was explaining to them, I was like showing them on my phone. I was like, look at this person. This is Brett from a few years ago, but he's dead. Like, he died. He died because I can't be him. I want to be that guy again, but he died. And I don't know why he died. I don't know where he went, but I don't know who this person is. Like, I feel like Brett is inside me and he's trying to live through this other person. And they were like, okay, we're going to try some SSRIs. And we're going to try some different things. And I had to do all these like exercises, like mental exercises and stuff. And he was like, well, I can't formally diagnose you with this, but you know, I haven't really ever seen this. I've only heard about it, but you're exhibiting the characteristics of Cotard syndrome. And I was like, what is that? And it's like, it's technically a delusion. And the thing is you can understand that it's a delusion, that like either there's severity in it, right? Like some people believe they're dead. Some people believe they're dead and they won't even eat. Like, and some people believe that there's something dead inside them. And that's how I felt. But I didn't know how to express that to people without sounding like a crazy person. And I'm already a little bit different than other people, you know what I mean? From like what I wear, music I like, so on and so forth. But to tell someone that like, hey, I'm not Brett. Brett's dead. I don't know who this person is, but I want to be Brett really bad. Like I want to be Brett really bad. And then balancing that on top of super toxic relationships. At the time I was with this girl, horrible toxic situation. I tried medicine with her, and I tried Zoloft, and it took away any empathy I had. So
Really?
yeah, and it was kind of rough on me. I didn't have a good experience with it, and it like
So did it make you like just an empty kind of person?
it made me not feel anything. I didn't really want to fight. I had zero libido. I had zero interest in anything that I really like. I was just stone cold.
Existing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt myself being removed, and I was like, you know, I want to try and pull away from this and try some other stuff. And my anxiety was literally ruining that relationship. Like I'll put this shit on, like the blame on me. Like, you know, she did some messed up shit to me, and there was times that I was homeless throughout this period. But like me being homeless was a decision that I made. You know, setting up my Jeep and emptying it out, and like setting up camp at different places, and like just living out of there. You know, just being a gypsy and just moving different places and living that life. But it was something that I wanted to do because I felt so distant from society, and I was in such an unhealthy relationship to begin with that it wasn't good for me. And that
So did those I don't mean to cut you off, but
no,
did those moments of solidarity of, you know, because, you know, for some people they say it's therapeutic where they're just kind of out here. Now, was it like a nature thing, or were you like setting up at Walmart parking lot?
it really depends. Because I had to switch it up because one night I got robbed with my own pistol.
Oh,
Yeah, some dude, it's funny, the chick was staying with me in my Jeep, and this dude, you know, I keep my Glock right beside my head up on the center console, and the dude, well, I guess that night he was looking in people's vehicles, and I had both my back doors locked, but I guess I didn't have my front driver's side locked, because everything's manual, so you got to go into everything. He opened it, grabbed it, had it pointed at us, and you know, the last thing I heard, he said, "I'll kill your ass," and I was like, "Okay, all right." And I was waiting, and then he slammed the door and ran off. And I still never got that pistol back, but luckily, my friends bought me another one. But
man, that's yeah, I don't think I'd be I think I'd be deep in the woods next time.
yeah, I definitely switched it up after that. But those moments of solidarity was actually like the worst thing for me.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm one of them people that I do well with others because I'm a very social creature. I'm a very creature, and I do well because when I'm with others, they remind me that I am alive. They remind me that I'm loved, and a lot of people look up to me.
Yes.
You know,
Bro, I've tried to. Oh, go ahead. I've tried to. Like, so many people have asked me, like, well, why do you feel afraid to be alone, or why do you think you can't be alone, or why are you always trying to like spend your time with other people? And I'm like, man, there's just something about having somebody there with you,
mm-hmm.
and it's not really a validation thing. It's that I feel the emotion of somebody there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not the same thing every fucking day.
Yeah.
It's not coming home to an empty house. I mean, yeah, I have my cats. They're awesome. But you got to have that. Like when you're a social person, you've got to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, you know, and I know some people are on the opposite spectrum, but for me, that's what gave me validation that maybe I was alive. Maybe that I was that Brett. I'm just a different Brett. And
Right.
maybe just in my head. And I got out of that situation, and I'm not on medication at the time. And I accidentally met this other girl. This is the girl that I was talking about previously, like my most recent breakup, where I thought I was going to marry her and stuff. And met her kind of like on accident, because it wasn't like I was looking essentially for someone, but like instantly, like her humor and her aesthetic and mine were like the same. And everything was cool. You know, everything started out great. Well, I had that fight with Blake, and you know, we're trying to make our way through it. Well, soon after that, I was talking to my prescriber again, and I was like, you know, I was on ADHD medicine when I was young, and I think that maybe, you know, I'm not getting shit done like I should, and I'm not as productive. Right. And I think that if I take this Adderall, and I was like, hear me out, like I take this Adderall and I get all the shit I need done, that's going to take away my anxiety. And he was like, Brett, it's only going to make your anxiety worse. And I'm like, well, let me try it. Like, I've already done it before, and I think this might actually help. So that's what I did. And for the next few months, I was taking Adderall, and life was going good. At least in my head, I thought so. But I became so obsessed with my career. You know, I lost all that weight. I was in amazing shape. I was like, dude, I could be top 5 in the world at 155. Like, I put people down at heavyweight. Like, this is it. Right. But I'm so obsessed and like focused because of the medicine that like I didn't put what I thought I needed to in that particular relationship. And don't get me wrong, she did some horrible shit to me that really fucked me up. But me putting the blame on myself, I was like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, but it was the Adderall fucking with me. And it was not what I needed.
Oh God, no, dude. So, you know, I told you about the whole thing a couple months ago, you know. So to be transparent for anybody that's watching, 2 months ago, I tried to take my own life. You know, I had my Jeep, I parked it underneath a bridge. I ran a hose from the exhaust into the window, rolled the window up as much as I could, turned up the radio, and I just sat back and listened to the radio and just, you know, waited for that process to take place. I don't remember passing out, but I do remember waking up in the hospital. And, you know, I look back on it now and I'm like, man, thank God somebody found me. But I was on fucking Adderall at the time.
Really?
I was on Adderall. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And now that I no longer take it, dude, I feel fucking fantastic.
So, damn, that's wild. So and I hope that, you know, other people hearing this that deal with mental issues, men, maybe understand like that me and you have that in common, because the Adderall was making me hyper focus on certain things. And where it got really fucked up is when we broke up. It completely blindsided me. Now I'm homeless again. And I'm just like, my there goes my work. Like, I was supposed to get married. I was supposed to move into a house. Like,
so let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
You were on Adderall at the time of the breakup, right?
Yes.
So you say it was a blindsided thing. It just happened.
Yes.
Did you, after the breakup, like, right, did you obsess over why? And so you were always trying to figure out why? You were always trying to get that answer. Like, you had to have that fucking answer, but the more you didn't get it, the more it fucked you up.
Yes, I was fucking going crazy. Like, I was hyper focused on why did this happen to me? I'm such a good person. Like I've helped people with their, like, you know, I'm a coach as well.
Yeah.
It's out as a men's mental health like support group. We drink beer at the beach, and I would teach people about how to fight, but it turned into something legit. And
Right.
it was the Adderall. I would be so hyper focused on, why did this happen? Why is this? I don't understand. Like, I didn't deserve this. I'm a great person. And then I would just hyper focus on being fucking sad. And I just could not stop being fucking sad all the time. And
just this fucking ball, and it feels physical almost.
yeah.
It's like this fucking ball in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time you go to focusing on that fucking emotion, that sad emotion, it's like that bitch just inflates and inflates and inflates. And it's like you can feel the fucking sadness fucking just bursting out of that bitch.
Yeah. And talking about, like, you know, solidarity, I called her every day. She has my number blocked, but I would call her every fucking day. I would text her every single day. And she was just so fucking cruel to me. And like, for no reason. Like, I would just like, I just need like something from you. Like, I am so severely hurt, and I couldn't get that. Yeah. So I start getting into like poetry, because that's the best way I can express myself. But I started having these weird different attacks. And what happened after the breakup, my anxiety completely went away.
Yeah.
It just vanished. It was the strangest thing, but like the chemical makeup in my brain was so hurt from the breakup that it ruined my fucking brain.
Dude, look, check this out. So, you know, I told you that 2 weeks ago, I finally had to make that decision to cut her out of my life.
Yes.
So I'm going to speak a little truth here. And it's hard to admit, but so I relapsed. Whereas you poured yourself into poetry and things like that, I relapsed. I fucking relapsed. You know, I was a drug addict for years, long time ago. And even now, I'm still fucking ashamed of it. But I did relapse. And finally, one day, something happened that really made me go, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I just blew 7 years of sobriety for what? But the event that happened, she didn't even give a fuck. She didn't care. She wasn't concerned. Nothing. Yeah. And she was with another person at the time, I found out. And she didn't give a fuck. And I'm like, holy shit. So, you know, I take and I get rid of everything. Every fucking thing. I mean, I get rid of it. So I knew right then, I was like, okay, I've got to cut her out of my life. As much as I love her, she cannot be a part of what I need to become, because she's always going to bring me down, and she's always going to drag me down. Dude, the anxiety, the depression. Dude, I was so fucking depressed, and my fucking anxiety was so bad. But my brain, you know, kept saying, hey, you've got to have her around just to be happy. But there was never fucking happiness. So, and I knew, just because I'm so in love with her, that I've got to cut her out. But I've got to do it in a way that she never wants to come back. So I made her hate me. You know, I became just the biggest asshole, the biggest dickhead. And she didn't give a fuck. All it did was give her a reason to finally leave. Yeah. And I did hurt her feelings. I'm not going to lie. I never physically touched her, nothing like that, because I'm not that kind of person. But, you know, I told her how I really fucking felt once I was finally able to think. And I told her every fucking thing about how I felt. And she told me she hated me. She never wanted to come back, yada, yada, yada. She grabbed her shit. She left. She has not been back since. And literally, bro, the day after she left, I woke up. I fucking felt amazing. I fucking finally went back into the car business. Dude, the past 2 weeks, I've been fucking slaughtering the sales floor. You know what I'm saying? I've become a better version of me. Every fucking day I'm becoming a better person. But I had to cut that fucking thing out of my life. And I have not had anxiety since. I haven't had depression since. None of that. I have actually felt fucking normal. And even elevated who the fuck I am. Yeah. I'm a better salesman. Look, I've been at this dealership for 2 weeks now. General manager tells me the other day, "Hey man, look, here in the next month or two, they're about to make you sales manager.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be in charge of the salesman. You're going to be in charge of sales training, everything." I've been watching this guy on YouTube every morning for 3 years when I go to work. His name's Andy Elliott. He's a sales, he's an old car salesman. He's, he does training and stuff for sales and everything now. He's got a $100 million company over in Arizona. I've been invited to fucking come out there, attend one of their sales training seminars. I'll be going out November 11th and 12th. I'll be joining this fucking sales seminar. I'll be getting really in-depth sales training, even more than what I already am. Like, that fucking opportunity right there is huge for me, huge.
Yeah.
But I had to cut out the fucking poison that for some unapparent reason my brain thought I fucking needed.
Yeah. With you talking about like
fuck yeah. You see this fucking comment?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yes. That's what the fuck I was talking about right there, Brett. That's what this is all about, brother.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Just I'm gonna piggyback off that comment. Just a shout out, and what I want other people to hear too is you're a fighter. I'm a fighter. I can fight bare knuckle in front of hundreds of thousands of people on the app, and I can fight live. I've fought on huge stages. I've done all this, but that fight ain't shit compared to the fight that people deal with right here. The shit that we deal with right here, man, them highlights of me, that ain't shit compared to this right here. And I've had tell me like, like my fight with Blake, like you could see I was not gonna quit. I didn't fall, I didn't drop, and that was a no-win situation for me. But I'll die in there. Like, and I truly like watch my fights. I've never been dropped in a fight my whole life. Never been put down. But that ain't shit compared to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want people to know that as well. Like, I'm not some superhero. Man, I fight right here just like other people do. It's just we're all trying to navigate this. With the situation about being cruel and how you had to do that, I'm too much of a softie. I kept thinking that like I treated her so well, and she told me about all the abuse she's been through, and like then you date someone like me, and I'm not trying to be egotistical, but I literally worshipped her, and the fact that she would be so cruel to me, like you talking about that.
Oh shit.
Back and forth. I'm like, hey, the ultimate revenge against her, and like, another ex of mine would be like to off myself.
Will you give me 1 second?
Yeah.
1 second.
I believe Eric walked away for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro, that's my bad.
That's some deep shit you guys were talking about. Oh, my goodness.
I'm so sorry. I have a friend that is coming over, and my friend actually went through the same exact thing that me and you have went through.
Mm-hmm.
She, went through the same shit, and now we're just friends who literally are helping each other heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know how the next one's feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
I forgot to unlock the door.
Yeah.
She's out in the fucking car burning up right now.
My plan was like, I kill myself, and right. It'll be beautiful. Like, on one hand, like I'm attractive. I have a great body. I'm a fighter. I'm like Achilles, right? So
right.
Live forever. And then the other hand is like, I'll get her back. I'll show her.
Right.
She's so cruel to me that it's like, if you did that, you would be doing her a favor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like the way that she's talking to you and treating you. And another ex was doing this too. Like, another ex of mine, a girl I was with for like 7 years, was like trying to convince me to do it. And
that's fucked up, bro.
It's crazy. And like I said, my most recent ex was so cruel to me, and I'm like, I can't make sense of it in my head. Adderall's not helping. And one night, you know, I was ready. I was like, hey, like this, I'm so in love with the idea of suicide. I just love it. It's romanticized. It's just a beautiful thing. People aren't going to be mad at me because they know how messed up I am with my like Cotard syndrome. Like we knew Brett was going to do this at some point. So I don't have any guilty conscience, but they wouldn't give a fuck. So I did that for what, you know,
Right.
on like beautiful self-need, because they wouldn't give a fuck if I was gone. And I had to really deal with that. But there was one night, it was funny, I actually was talking to her parents, which I still talk to her mother quite frequently, you know, as a friend. But her parents were like helping me through like the hardest night during the whole time. And the very next day I was able to get in touch with my prescriber, and he was like, hey, Adderall, nope, no more. Like,
Yeah.
shit, it's making you crazier than you already are. And he was like, we're going to try something different because you don't like the SSRIs. Adderall's not what you need. And I take Klonopin if I have a like really bad shit going on, but it's rare, like a couple times a month. But he was like, we're going to try Wellbutrin. So I started that, and it seemed to really help. But I was in this like weird limbo where now I've gained weight back. I don't have a house. I don't have a fight. And I'm a fighting man. Like I'm a real
Does the Wellbutrin give you like do you have like mood swings off of it? Because I would get angry really off of Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin's been kind of weird for me. So like so you know, there's a girl I've been posting, but I don't tag her name, but you know, I got an awesome old lady right now, and she's been super supportive in everything I'm doing.
And you better tell her I want some of the meatballs too. She's
yeah.
She thinks they're just for y'all.
They were next level, but she fucking supportive, and like literally all the shit that I'm so self-conscious about, like, you know, having poor mental health, she's like, I don't care. It's just a part of it. Like I'm, you know, helping you heal. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is what I needed the whole time. And the Wellbutrin has helped me. I was taking immediate release 150. And then my prescriber gave me extended release. And then I noticed that my appetite started to change. But I also got hormone medications as well. So my pituitary glands were messed up. Like that rewiring in my brain was so sized. Body was shutting down. My voice was changing. Everything was dark. Everything was cold. But the Wellbutrin, he changed it to extended release, and I noticed I started getting a little more tired and a little more hungry and a little less motivated. But like I said, my anxiety completely subsided, but my Cotard syndrome, I was battling with a lot. Like, and I still am struggling with it a little bit here and there, depends. But then I got it bumped up to 300 milligrams, and I'm just tired all the time.
Well, let me ask you this, bro, because, you know, we went over a list of medication already.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that maybe the chemicals, because you're saying you're having to take hormone medication on top of the medicine that you are taking, do you feel like maybe the introduction of so many foreign chemicals to our body through medication has probably thrown our hormones out of whack so bad that when we're not on it for the first week, 2 weeks, or whatever, you know, it's pretty rough on us.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the body is the ultimate healer.
Mm-hmm.
So the body knows what's wrong with the body, and the body is going to take care of itself regardless. I think even with in a mental capacity, it could. Do you feel that maybe kind of cutting these medications out and finding something that helps us cope in the meantime to try to get out of that detox period could probably lead to a better look on life?
That's exactly where I'm at as of tomorrow.
Fuck yeah, bro. Look at that. Fucking great minds think alike. All right. Fuck.
It's funny. I've been talking to my old lady with it like throughout the day because I'm like looking at forums and like the science and like this and my anatomy and like trying to piece shit together. I'm like, I want to, now that I'm in a different spot and I've got like someone that's really fucking supportive and I got an awesome fan base and I got awesome support just in general. I'm like, now let's try to get off of it now that I'm not in that black hole. And I know for a fact, like that person that was causing all this doesn't give a fuck if I'm alive or dead anyway. Exactly. So why does she get to be relevant in my life when I got someone who cares about me and like wants the best for me and is completely supportive?
Exactly.
Like I need to put my energy there, and not in the past. And so as of next week, I'm going to wind down to immediate release. And then the next week I'll just get off and see where I'm at with it. But I mean, the more I increase it, I'm tired all the fucking time. And I'm a person that trains 7 days a week. Sometimes I train twice a day. Yeah. And getting to where like, I don't even want to go run. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to do my job. And I read that side effect, but talking about those foreign chemicals, my body's not supposed to be able to do that. But I'm also not a guy like I try to reach out or I try to tell so many people that tell me about their issues. I'm like, man, get professional help. Just hear them out, see what they say. And if you need something to bridge the gap, fucking do it, dude. Don't worry about that stigma. Don't worry about what people say. Dude, I've had people shit on me and they've told me, Brett, the way you are with the mental health stuff and how you express yourself and you talk about your problems, that makes you look weak. People are going to pick up on that. And I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Bro, only a weak person is going to point out somebody else's fucking issues.
These people usually are dealing with so much shit. They
don't want to face their own fucking problems. So they're going to worry about the next man.
Yes. And it's easier to talk shit about someone else.
Oh, it's so much fucking easier. It's hilarious. That's like, dude, the other day at work. So there's this girl that works at the dealership I'm at. She has to wear the tight dresses and the heels. And yeah, she sells cars, but the area we're in, it's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I had a fucking cast net in the ocean, or hell, if I had a cast net at a fucking catfish pond, you're damn right I'm going to pull out 100 catfish at a time. But that guy that has that little bitty ass net who's having to fucking sniper them bitches out of there and he's getting them out every time, that's the fucking true person. And I'm trying to teach these people how to sell cars because they don't understand there is a fucking process. I don't care if you're fucking selling cars in Nigeria. I don't care if you're selling cars in fucking Mexico. I don't care if you're selling cars in little old Winsboro, Louisiana. The sales process is always the fucking same. Mm-hmm. Well, she's been the top dog over there before I got there. Well, I have this very excited energy when I'm on the sales floor because excitement sells cars. Energy sells fucking cars. Nobody wants a boring, bland ass salesman.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm in there. I'm fucking pumped. I have a very, very high confidence in myself when I'm on the sales floor because you have to be that way. She comes with her negativity. You ain't got to have that fucking cocky, arrogant attitude. You're not the top salesman, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, you can't even tell me the first step to the road to the sale. So please stop. Go shake your tits, sell your car, and then be done with it. Like, Don't try to put me down because my process, it works. My process works. Now, if she was to take that shit to a new car store somewhere where you got to really fucking dog it out, she wouldn't even bust 5 cars a month. But what I'm saying that to say this, your ego you know what it is? Your self-confidence and your ability to sell is so low that you have to attack mine. Mm-hmm. And just like people in life, your fucking confidence to live your life happily is so fucked up that you got to attack mine.
The people, talking about that, the people that have told me that, because it's less than a handful, but the people have told me that have even said like, dude, you're so weird. Like, it's just going to hurt your career. Like this mental health stuff, it makes you look weak. Like, man, it's kind of cringy. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I really don't, because there's shit out there that's more important than fighting, and that's men's mental health for me, because I gotta live with that shit. That's a real goddamn fight. Like knocking out, I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
I've lost a fight as a professional. I lost once as an amateur. Hey, I can deal with wins, I can deal with losses, but neither of them are shit compared to the fight up here. Like that,
because you lose up here, it's final.
Oh yeah, and the fucking people that have all said shit like that are some of the most fucked up people I know.
Yeah.
But they're in such a different like alternate reality in their head that they're just existing and just avoiding everything and not acknowledging anything around them. And I'm like, damn, like y'all got some like sketchy situations that you should probably address. The way you talk to people, the way you treat people, you know, that a lot of people, you know, may not like the type of person you are, but you're just so oblivious. You don't give a fuck. You just go through life, and they're all like that. So it's like, okay, yeah, my shit makes me look weak. I mean, my highlights on YouTube, you know, look otherwise, but if that makes me look weak, who fucking cares, dude? Because I'm not trying to reach out to other men.
And that's like, you know, the people that we surround ourselves with, that's who makes you, that's how you grow. Okay. That's how your mindset. So if I got 4 people in the same room and you leave them in that same room for so long, eventually they're all going to start thinking the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you surround yourself with negativity and fucking just nasty, disgusting fucking people, your brain is going to pick up on that. And eventually you're going to either A, think of yourself in that way, or B, you're going to start to become that person.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like, okay, do I want to stay stuck in this negative, nasty situation? Or do I want to better myself? Do I want to be a better version of myself today than I was tomorrow, and then repeat that same fucking thing every day? And so for me to do that, I had to have the right fucking people in my corner. That's just like that lady that's in there in that fucking kitchen. Like, we have the same fucking thought patterns when it comes to how we have dealt with things in our life recently, and we feed off each other. We fucking heal off each other.
Mm-hmm.
She supports the ever-loving fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I send her a picture of a car I sold, it's, oh my God, I'm so fucking proud of you. Hell yeah, I'm pumped. You look at you go, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of fucking people that everybody needs in their life.
Yeah.
You have them people that fucking just bash you or talk shit to you, or you tell them about some success that you had that day, and they're like, "Oh, here we go again," or fuck that shit, man.
Yeah.
I want to be pumped for somebody just as much as they're pumped for me.
Yeah, I try to be so kind. I mean, I'm naturally a kind person anyway, but I try to be so kind to fucking people and like go out of my way to like compliment what they're doing or wish their success. Because like I said, man, when you've had to go through the trenches in your mind, and people process shit differently, right? Like, yeah, like people have dealt with way harder shit you could say, but the way my brain processes it is this nearly fucking killed me. But I've been through that, and I've been in such dark places where I look in a mirror and I'm like, I'm dead. I don't even know what this is. I'm not living, and I'm so convinced of it, and it's just driving me fucking wild, and I just stare at myself in a mirror. The fact that I went through that, go through that sometimes, makes me be so kind to others, because you don't know what people are going through, and you know they could be dealing with some real horrible fucking people. And I know there's people out there that don't have a support system like I do, that aren't a professional fighter like I am, and that don't have the adoration I have, but I'm completely aware of that, and I don't take it for granted. So I try to be kind to fucking everyone, and like make them feel good about themselves and make them feel validated. And like, you know, just like I told my old lady yesterday, I was like, everything you're feeling is completely valid. Your emotions are completely valid. And that's every human, you know, like what you're feeling, that's valid. That's a real fucking, don't listen to what other fucking people say. Like, oh man, that's weak, or that's pussy shit, or that's that. And it's like, fuck you. I just don't need you, because there's good people out there.
Bro, I know that you study a different religion than than what you've grown up in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the kind of person, I do not bash anybody for their religious beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like your religion, however it may be, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Satanist, whether you're Buddhist, Islamic, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And yours is, remind me what the name of it was.
Paganism.
Paganism. That's right. Okay. So everybody's religion offers them something
Mm-hmm.
that helps them,
Mm-hmm.
that completes who they are.
Yep.
So I do not bash anybody at all, because ultimately at the end of the day, what helps you is what helps you.
Yep.
So, but I said that to say this. There's a pastor by the name of T.D. Jakes. He's a very loud, he's very brash, but he is very raw. And, he said, the people that the Lord cuts out of your life, why? Well, he didn't say why the fuck, but why would you let people back in your life that the Lord has cut out?
Mm-hmm.
Why would God need to use somebody in your life that he's already cut out of it to begin with? Like, and you can apply that to however, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But why would you bring somebody back into your life or keep people in your life that have no value to your life whatsoever? You know what I'm saying?
It's that trauma-based relationships with not just significant others, but friends too. I mean, there's such thing as trauma bonds with friends, like, because they make you feel a certain type of way. And if you got a friend who's just treated you like shit or dogged you out all the fucking time, lo and behold, like I've studied and read about this, like people will seek adoration for it. They'll seek like acceptance from that person, and that's just on a friendship level, much less a significant other, like talk about those fucking trauma bonds. But that's why it's that chemical makeup in our brain that has convinced us that we physically need that, or we're going to be sick, or we feel like we're fucking going to die or something. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's what you're saying is absolutely correct. Why the fuck do you need them there? But of course, easier said than done,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That phrase right there is so strong. Easier said than done.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when I made that decision a couple weeks ago, I knew what had to be done. And after I did it, and I feel the way I feel now, it made me stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It made me stronger, and it gave me more resolve to be able to say no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because people have always hit, hey, can I get $20? Hey, can I get 40? And I've always been that guy that goes, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll pay you back. I can go through my Cash App right now. And if I was to add all that shit up, my God. And I don't press nobody for paying me back. You know what I'm saying? Because I have people that I need to pay back. But when I did what I did 2 weeks ago, now I'm able to go, nah, I can't help you. Like, I'm not gonna keep being your inhibitor, not inhibitor. What the fuck's it called? Fuck, I can't think. When somebody's allowing a drug addict, somebody that's allowing that drug addict to keep staying in their drug addiction.
Yeah,
Enabler, yeah. So I'm not going to keep enabling you to keep bumming off of people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the resolve that when I did that accomplishment, and I know it probably sounds a little fucked up to some people, but it was a sense of accomplishment because I was able to get past my weakness for that person and make that decision, but it made me stronger. So now my resolve is so much better to get more negative people out of my life and to say, you know what, get the fuck out. Like, cause I cannot have you in my life. Where I'm going in my life, your mindset will not allow you to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about, people think that like that makes you a dick, man. I've learned through all these things, like when I had anxiety, because it just, like I said, it just fucking vanished. And then my Cotard syndrome just swallowed me whole and I was going mad. is that you got to be selfish, and it's perfectly okay to be selfish as fuck when it comes to your mental health.
Yeah.
Like you have to be selfish, and it's perfectly okay. If someone tells you not to be, fuck them. You have to be selfish. You got to do what's going to make you feel the best and help you heal. Now, there's different versions of healing. Mine was spending time with people. Mine was being able to train. Mine was, it was mainly people all the time. And like I said, you know, I met this girl and she's been fucking wonderful to me. But I had to say, I had to be selfish as fuck and put myself in situations with mass groups of friends rather than hanging out with certain individuals.
And bro, I've been paying attention to that because I follow you closely because I care about you. We've become friends, you know, in the past few months, chit chatting back and forth or whatever. So, you know, I follow you and I look at your posts and everything. And I always love the fact that when you post by yourself, you see a little bit of sadness, a little bit of melancholy. But when you're with people, you're fucking radiating happiness. Like you see it on your fucking face. You're so happy. Your body's not as tense. You're relaxed, and it's great to be able to see that, you know, because you are my friend. I care about you. So knowing that you have that support system, it's fucking amazing to see. And I encourage so many people. If anybody's watching on here, if anybody is watching, surround yourself with the right people.
Hell yes.
Surround yourself with the people that help you radiate your fucking happiness. Because,
Absolutely.
dude, you have. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you have helped me out because we've had discussions, and you're very deep. You're very open and deep, you know, and being able to learn from you and how you deal with these things, and then seeing visually the things that you're fucking telling me, and you're fucking practicing what you preach, and you can see the fucking difference in you, and it's amazing. It's amazing, man.
I appreciate that, and I'm glad you were able to pick up on that. And now, like, because I don't pick up on that, and now that you bring it up, I can look back, and it's like, and I've even deleted pictures of just me because of that reason, but I didn't understand. I didn't realize it. But if you look at my pictures from like Moot or like Midsummer, which Moot is when we have our religious celebrations together, and we try to get together, but like from Moot pictures to Midsummer, like I'm just fucking just oozing in happiness. You know, I'm just covered of, and I just feel so great. And then when I have to return back to reality, you know, sometimes it gets kind of difficult at times, but like that was the biggest thing that I realized is like surrounding yourself with the right people. And if you have to avoid certain people, that's perfectly okay because you need to be selfish. You need to take that whole like, well, I need to be empathic for everyone, not when you're struggling mentally. You got to do what's best for you because that shit will fucking eat you alive. It will eat you alive. And then it will affect every other aspect of your life. It will affect your job, your relationship with your family. It will affect, you know, there's been times where get off of work, and I'm sure you know what it's like. Get off of work and don't even have the strength to shower. Just lay on the ground in my work clothes and just stare at the roof and just stare and just like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't even turn the fucking music on the drive home. It's fucking dead silence.
Yeah, I've fucking been there too. And it's just like, why is it like this? Why can't things get better?
And you know what's crazy? Kind of going back to the whole religion thing, whatever religion it is you practice, or whoever and whatever they practice, I still believe in the power of nature or the power of being connected to people. And however that connection may be. But there was a day that I was driving home and I felt like fucking just pure garbage. And the worse my thoughts got, the darker things got for me. And then all of a sudden, her ass was ringing my phone on FaceTime. And within 5 minutes, I was laughing, joking, and felt fucking amazing.
Man, another thing that I've said in statuses, and this is to piggyback off of that, is because I'm sure you've been asked this question too, and it fucking drives me nuts when people are like, well, why didn't you call me? Man,
yeah,
I didn't know that you were. Why didn't you call me? I would have been there for you. And I'm like, okay, so I get it. You obviously don't have to deal with these issues. When you're in that dark place, and sometimes you don't even realize you're there, you ain't calling no fucking body.
Nobody.
You ain't in the house. You may not even leave your car for hours.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna fucking call someone and be like, hey man, I'm going through it. Like at my lowest, I don't even know where my phone is.
Yep.
I just don't even feel like I'm alive. You know, I feel like I'm removed from my body. How the fuck am I going to call somebody and be like, hey, can you come do this? And I'm like, if y'all really want to contribute, and I say this all the time, like I got multiple stories and like old stories on my Instagram and post on Facebook. I'm like, dude, call your homie. Call him. He doesn't answer. Okay, and you think he's going through something, try to call him again an hour later or so. Nothing. Now force yourself to either trick him, convince him to get out, because he probably don't want to go have a beer. He's fucked up. You got to convince him of something else. Like,
right.
You got to manipulate him to get him out of that house, get him with you, and talk to him. You got to go out. Wait, there is no, why didn't you call me, man? Because you can't. You can't.
Yeah. And you know what else is fucked up, to piggyback off that? Why the fuck should I have to call you?
Yeah.
Where have you been every other fucking time, or any point in my fucking life? Just because, we see each other every now and then. If you were really a friend who was concerned about me, you would not fucking only reply back in a situation like that saying, why didn't you reach out to me? You would have picked up on something to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So don't try to come in here with your fucking holier than thou fucking complex, your savior complex. Oh, why didn't you call me? Because you know what? Even if I would have, you wouldn't have fucking helped me to begin with. Yeah.
Or maybe even fucking answered, know. That's one big thing that drives me nuts, that I hear all the time. And you even hear it in the fucking movies and commercials, and it's like, y'all don't get it. Y'all are buying the what's the saying? Buying the Kool-Aid or whatever the hot thing.
Yeah.
Like y'all are all drinking the Kool-Aid. Y'all don't really understand, because, being in that situation, you ain't making no phone calls.
No.
And I've had people also tell me, why don't you just choose to be happy? It's that simple. Yeah, literally had that.
What the fuck? Really?
And, yeah, I've had people inbox me and say that. Now,
oh my God.
Like, why don't you just they're like, man, it's in your head. Like, you choose to believe.
Yeah, it's in my fucking head, but how the fuck do I figure it out?
Yeah, I know. People are just omnipotent to begin with.
Oh, thank you, fucking Captain Obvious. I appreciate it. Now let me go fucking figure it out.
I'd say the same shit. I'm like, wow, I didn't even fucking think about that. Thank you. Damn, thank you.
Wow.
You single-handedly solved mental illness in men. Thank you. Just be happy.
A boxer doesn't go to a school janitor to learn how to box.
Yeah.
He goes to a professional fucking or a coach who was once a professional fucking boxer, who knows what that person is about to go through because they've been through it themselves. They're able to teach them.
Mm.
So if I am dealing with a mental health issue, why the fuck am I going to call somebody who has not been through what I've been through?
Yes.
Why do I need to reach out to your uneducated ass to figure out how to fucking fix my problems?
It makes
no fucking sense.
It's so difficult. Now it really helps when you're able to talk to someone who's been through it. But like, I've had conversations with people that are like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, why do you feel this way? Why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do this? And I've heard people be like, another good one. well, why don't you just get more sunlight and exercise and eat clean? And I'm like, motherfucker, I do that
Have you
more
seen
than
this?
yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm a bronze shredded. I do that more than 99% of the population. I'm still fucked up. I still think I'm dead. Like there's more to it, but people they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
No.
I was listening to Andy Elliott the other day, and I don't know if you know who Andy Elliott is. I'm not a dick riding kind of person. I'm not trying to like promote this dude's shit. But when I tell you, go to YouTube, go to TikTok. Now you will run into a bunch of car sales training shit, but go to TikTok, put in Andy Elliott. It's official Andy Elliott. But the shit he talks about, it really hits home for me. And it really drives home that I am the fucking solution to all my problems.
Mm-hmm.
That if I want to chase my dreams in life, I have to pay the fucking price to chase those dreams because they do come with a price. And that I have to do things that I do not want to do to be able to do the things that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to say this. He had a video where he was talking about, dude, I had, over $1 million in the bank. I was living the fucking dream. He said, but I was so fucking unhappy. I was so mentally depressed and drained and unhappy because even though I had what I wanted, I didn't really have what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and that goes back to that you can have whatever the fuck you want in life, but if you're not happy, the fuck does it matter?
Yep. Every fucking bet, dude. Every fucking bet. That's the biggest thing, with me and my girlfriend right now, like where I'm at in life. It's like I just want whatever brings me fucking peace. That's what I'm about. Like, and not just necessarily the relationship type sense, but just in life in general. Like, not stressing so hard to do so much at work and like driving myself crazy. Now I take Fridays off just for mental health.
Oh, dude, she fucking flashed out on me yesterday because I'm out there and I'm pounding the fucking pavement. If I'm not with a customer on the lot, I'm filming fucking advertisement videos on the lot. I'm taking pictures of cars and posting them on the lot. I did not go inside that much.
Mm-hmm.
And here lately, it's been about 107, 110 degrees pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost passed out due to the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I told her about it. She goes, "Are you fucking serious? You better take your ass inside." You know what I'm saying? Like, having that is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you know what I'm saying? Having those kind of people in your life are everything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. Well, bro, it's been a great interview. This interview has been fucking phenomenal.
Sweet, man.
And I really hope, bro, that we have touched so many people. And I want to encourage anybody that was watching or has watched, that commented, or feels like they're going through the same thing. Brett, what's your Instagram?
It's Brett with 2 T's _ Williams, but it's WILLYUMZ, like Yummies. That was my nickname in high school, was Will Yummies, of course. But
all right. And mine is Mr. Car Sales 2023. Or if you can't find any of us, look up David Potter. Shoot a message to him, and he can get in contact with me or Brett. Look, listen there, anybody. If you're going through the same thing, you're dealing with these same emotions, you're dealing with these same experiences, you're dealing with these same traumas, don't feel like that you have to be so bottled up. Like, be open about it. Talk about it. Reach out to one of us. Dude, we'll talk about it in a private fucking message that nobody will ever read.
Mm-hmm.
But don't fucking not talk about it, because when you don't talk about it, that's when it just gets worse. It's like a pressure cooker. The more pressure that gets added to that pressure cooker, the higher the pressure gets, and then all of a sudden, boom, the shit blows up into something that it does not need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to one of us. Talk to one of us. Brett takes a little bit longer to respond than usual. But yeah, I mean, we will respond and we'll talk to you, because at the end of the day, like we said, if you lose this fight, it's final.
Yeah.
It's not it's not something that you can shake back from.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you lose this, you lose everything, and then everybody around you loses you.
Mm-hmm.
So reach out, talk to us. You know, because I've always found it easier to talk to somebody that I'm not familiar with about my problems. So reach out to us. Brett, I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, I appreciate.
Dude, we've got to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that everybody deserves for us to have another interview. You know what I'm saying? And I think that next interview, it's going to be bigger than this one. It's going to be better than this one. We're going to have a lot more viewers. And I think it's really going to fucking hit home with a lot of people.
Sweet, man. I'm glad. You know, that's the biggest thing is like, you know, talking about, I've already said it before, like I fight because of men's mental health. Like I was born to fight, but that's at the forefront is our mental health and like helping us, because that place was so dark and it was so cold and it was so horrible. I don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah. A fight has to have purpose.
Yep.
Yeah. A fight has to have purpose. Well, bro, I know we're about to have to shut it down. I don't get to look at your cool tattoos that much anymore right now. But listen, bro, don't be a stranger. And before we go, is there anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors, any family, any friends, anything that you want to kind of say to the people? You know, deliver your message, brother. Deliver your message, make your shout outs, and let's wrap this thing up. Because she's in there cooking. She told me she didn't want to cook today. She's in there cooking. She's about to whoop my ass. So,
man, I want to thank, my incredible support system. All my friends, my fans. I am a little bit longer to get back to the messages, but I get so many that it can be overwhelming sometimes. So I have like Brett business hours, but I will get back to you at some point. I will. I want to shout out my girlfriend Sarah for being so supportive and helpful. Yeah, she's great. And my family, my team at Core MMA in Gulf Breeze, my manager Scott Farley, and my students, my Brett's bare knuckle boxing students. There was times when I was like, it only makes sense to end myself. I thought, well, my parents and my friends, they would understand. Like Brett was going to do this anyway. Like it's not a big surprise. But my students, they don't know me like that.
Something I want to say, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. I meant to fucking say this earlier. Do you think that's some kind of justification to do it? Is going, we understand. We saw it coming. Do you feel like maybe that's your brain justifying the fact that you should do it?
At the time, that's absolutely what it was, because I don't want to hurt my friends and family, you know. I already deal with like sometimes the reality is hard for me to comprehend, but at the time my brain was like, do it. Like, this is how I'm going to convince you to do it. But one of the hardest driving factors to not was honestly my students. I've had guys that were drug addicts. I had guys that were severely depressed. I had guys that were lost in life. I had guys that are going through all kinds of shit. You know, fighting brings people together. Right. And I've taken these people and shown them how to fight, and like it changes their lives. And I'm like, man, what would they do without me? You know, they would be okay, but I'm like, fuck, that really weighed on me. Like, man, all these people I've given hope to, given them a hobby, and you know, martial arts saves lives.
Yeah, it saved mine.
Life. So that was a big one. I want to shout out my students, and I want to shout you out, man. And I'm glad you're here on this earth.
Appreciate it, bro.
Likewise.
You tell Sarah she better have them damn meatballs ready.
She will.
But yeah, bro, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you coming on. And man, like I said, got to do this again. Let's stay connected. Everybody that came, that watched, that commented, I hope that y'all got something out of this that has helped y'all somehow, because this show is not about fame. It's not about fortune. I probably have the lowest view count than any other show that Fight World Live produces. But shout out to David Potter, because David believes in my vision of this show helping people. I don't give a fuck if I don't make a dime off of this. And that's not my intention. My intention is to help, to put these things out there, because everybody has a different situation that they deal with in a different way. But guess what? We can all come together. We can all talk about it. We can all express these things, and we can all help each other out at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I love you. David, thank you for having us. And man, I'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good evening.
Later.
All right, bro.